This is CBC Here and Now.
When she opened up that door, like, she didn't know what she was going to face. She didn't know what was coming to her. He's a monster.
As Conn River grieves the death of Chantel John,
police charge her ex-partner with first-degree murder.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Debbie Cooper.
And I'm Anthony Germain. Police believe 35-year-old Kirk Keeping killed his ex-girlfriend, 28-year-old Chantel John, on Wednesday night.
Keeping is currently being held in police custody after a brief court appearance by telephone today. He's from St. Jack's Coombs Cove near Harbour Breton.
And John was killed in her home in Conn River Wednesday night in what the Mi'kmaq First Nation calls a horrible act of violence. Her death has sent shocks through the community. Here Now's Garrett Barry was there today, and he has our top story tonight.
Here's the moment when Natalie Mackey learns police have laid murder charges in the death of her cousin and lifelong friend.
I can't, like, just, when she opened up that door, like, she didn't know what she was going to face. She didn't know what was coming to her. And he's a monster.
John was 28 years old, a people person, and sure to find some job caring after animals.
She has so many friends and family. Like, I don't think there's probably anywhere that she has ever gone that she hasn't made a friend.
That future? Stolen. Police believe Kirk Keeping, John's ex-boyfriend, is responsible.
To hear that what she went through, and like the word that comes to my mind is violence. Like, it's so violent, like, and heartless, and like, who does that to another person?
Across the Mi'kmaq First Nation, red dresses hang in trees, again and again, a symbol of mourning.
The color red is a very sacred color to the Indigenous people. It means a lot, and it has a lot of significance. I mean, life, blood, the loss of people. And when you go through the community and you see how many red dresses there are, you realize that it's not just the family of Chantel and her friends that are affected.
Mackey is writing down her feelings and trying to make sense of a tragedy.
She was such a beautiful person. She had such a beautiful soul, and she deserved a long and beautiful life.
Police are still on scene here outside John's family home. The RCMP say their investigation is still ongoing and they may lay more charges. Keeping is set to appear in court later this month. Garrett Barry, CBC News, Conn River.
Conn River has supports in place for grieving members of the community, a team made up of police, firefighters, and nurse practitioners.
And Mi'kmaq First Nation Chief Michel Joe is in St. John's this week. He's speaking with students at Memorial University. And today he called Chantel John's murder a senseless crime committed against a beautiful soul.
Chantel was a beautiful young woman who was born in Mi'kmaq in Conn River, and my nephew adopted her. She was originally born in McDonald. When she was 17 or 18, she left to go back with her family, who was still in Conn River, by the way. And she was very quiet. She worked in Conn River, and, you know, kind of shy, but beautiful young woman. A senseless crime against a beautiful soul. The victims in this is the families, the communities, but also the young man that did this terrible thing. His family is suffering too as well. So in our prayers, we have to be mindful of that too as well. We have very forgiving people in our community. And I'm, you know, in the beginning, I'm sure there'll be anger, frustrations, but in the end, I'm sure there'll be forgiveness too as well.
Now, Joe says he doesn't know Kirk Keeping, the 35-year-old who is charged with Chantel John's murder.
Now, Conn River plans to be more vigilant about the people who move into their community, and that includes their potential criminal backgrounds.
How do we protect our community in a sense of as not visitors coming in the community so much as people that move into the community? How do we protect our community from such a thing ever happen again, in making sure that everybody that coming to our territory will have to have a check by the RCMP to make sure that they're not coming from some other community and they're committing those crimes and then coming into our community to do the same things all over again. I'm not saying that this young man had that background, I don't know. And, but anyway, those are some of the things that we will have to be looking at in the coming weeks and months.
Now, in other news, a drug investigator in St. John says cocaine is a problem, but not necessarily a new one. His comments come after the release of new drug death statistics from the beginning of last year. There were 9 cocaine-related deaths from January to June of 2018. Medical professionals can only guess why cocaine killed more people than opioids did. Now, cocaine isn't a new problem for police. RNC Staff Sergeant Charles Shallow says there doesn't appear to be an increase of the drugs on the streets. He says lab tests show that local cocaine is always mixed with fillers.
What we will find is something of a mixture, probably maybe half and half of cocaine. Generally speaking, by way of explanation, cocaine is usually comes when it's most pure from the feeder countries. It'll come in something that's about 90% pure, which would be too strong to send out to the masses for consumption. Generally speaking, when the distributors bring that to the mid-level drug dealers, they will what we call step on it. So they will mix it with a filler and increase profits by having more product.
Husky says it is renewing its safety and environmental protection protocols following its huge oil spill at the White Rose field late last year. It's estimated 250,000 litres spilled near the Sea Rose floating production storage and offloading vessel in mid-November. Here now's Mark Quinn reports.
Almost 2 months after the massive spill, the White Rose oil field remains shut down. The leak happened here at the South White Rose extension when a connector failed in a production line. That's a subsea line that runs from a drill rig back to the Sea Rose FPSO.
At that time we were hot oil flushing and we released around 250 cubes of oil.
Now Husky Energy is taking steps towards restarting oil production again. The company has a plan in place but doesn't have approval to execute it yet.
Now, we haven't got agreement with that, with the CNOPB and some other outside agencies like the Coast Guard. We're still working that.
Pritchard says the shutdown is costing the company a lot of money. Some of it they will recover later. The latest provincial government estimate of revenue deferred as a result of the shutdown is between $55 and $60 million, about $130,000 per day. The spill also took a toll on the environment and sea life.
We had 18 oiled seabirds. Ultimately, the Canadian Wildlife Services will give us an estimated number from that number because of the density of birds at the time.
Pritchard says all safety and environmental protocols were followed on the day of the spill, but that didn't prevent the disaster. So he says changes are being made.
Correct. I mean, we've got to have learnings out of every incident like this, serious incident. So that is one of them, that we have the adverse weather policy guidelines have been adapted.
Husky Energy isn't saying when it expects the White Rose field to be back in production, and the CNLOPB hasn't decided if the oil company will be sanctioned for the spill. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, it's going to be another snowy day, or at least a snowy weekend, it looks like, for Labrador, with some gusty winds as well up through the northern portions of the of Labrador. We're looking at maybe 15 to 25 centimeters of snow by the time Monday rolls around. Otherwise, snow squalls this weekend for most of the island, looking at a mix of sun and cloud, and then as those bands move through, could see upwards of 5 to 10 centimeters with some of those bands. And then a quiet start to next week, so it looks like sunshine for Monday, but as we head towards Tuesday and Wednesday, looks like another round of weather moves in. I'll have all those details in your full forecast coming up.
And you're looking at a live shot of Bitters Bar at Memorial University, where a retirement party is underway. Just ahead, we're going to talk to the prof at the center of it.
But before we get to the Friday fun, we'll stay with Memorial University and some news. The university has reached a second tentative deal with faculty this week, most recently with its 900 permanent and contractual faculty members. Yesterday was per course instructors. And the Faculty Association had actually gone 16 months without a contract. One of its outstanding issues was pay and gender equality. Job security and intellectual property rights were among the other issues. Details are still being looked at. Ratification votes will still have to happen, but the university says this should reassure students that their studies and their research won't be interrupted. And staying with schools and universities, here we go again. The idea of a law school at Memorial University is back on the docket, if you will, but this time there just might be enough evidence to finally make a case. Here now's Terry Roberts has the story.
Straight to the point. Will there be a faculty of law at Memorial University in the next 3 to 5 years?
I absolutely firmly believe this is going to happen, yeah.
A detailed proposal was endorsed by the University Senate recently. Up to 100 students per year, 18 faculty, about $9 million annually in operating costs. The Board of Regents could give its stamp of approval sometime this year. And if that happens, MUN could soon be training lawyers for the first time ever.
It's really about getting down to the nuts and bolts of what will it cost, new building, capital costs, what's the price point for tuition, how can we be competitive.
And the idea has some high-profile support. Supreme Court Justice Fons Fauer was part of the committee that prepared the report and believes the absence of a law school is a huge gap in the province's legal system.
In my view, the rule of law and the well-functioning of the legal system underpins every other activity that goes on in our province, whether it's economic or social.
Currently, lawyers like this have to leave the province to train, mostly at universities in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. Right now, there are nearly 700 practicing lawyers in the province. Supporters say the timing is right for a law school in St. John's.
We heard from many people who said they would go to law school if there was one in the province.
We know there's a lot of interest. We also know what the application rate is for law schools across Canada, and it's pretty much on bust.
But it's not a done deal. MUN has to raise millions to construct a new building, and it has to find a way to offer competitive tuition rates without hurting other programs. Golfman thinks it can be done.
Memorial is, I think, well poised in the 21st century to take it to the next level and to round out the complement of all the programs we do.
Terry Roberts, CBC News, St. John's.
Thousands of students in this province are skipping school, and the Child and Youth Advocate says that could have dire consequences for the child's future. A new report offers some alarming numbers about chronic absenteeism of students in the English school district. Our Carolyn Stokes joining us now to break it all down. And first of all, Carolyn, what does chronically absent from school mean?
Well, this report is not talking about students who pip off now and then. These are students who miss at least 18 days of school during the year and have no valid excuse or reason for not being there. So how many students are considered chronically absent from school? Well, the English School District reported that 10% of students missed at least 18 days of school in 2016-2017. That's over 6,600 children. The report also says that 75% of grade 6 students who experience chronic absenteeism will not graduate high school. Now, the Child and Youth Advocate says those numbers are alarming. She calls it a quiet problem. Students of all grades that just disappear from school. She says people may think the schools should be doing a better job of keeping students in class, but it's far more complicated than that.
That's the tip of the iceberg. You know, sometimes if you want to look at it a different way, I think absenteeism or chronic absenteeism can be a symptom of another issue. And if children are experiencing difficulties around mental health or physical health issues and need those addressed so that they can participate in school, if there's bullying or violence and they're fearful, if there's transportation issues, if there's concerns at home in terms of neglect or addictions, things like that, that prevent the children from coming to school, those are all really important issues that need to be tackled.
If the process of dropping out is the kid slowly but surely moving to the back of the classroom and then slowly but surely disappearing from the educational experience. It's one thing for a kid to be there sitting in the back of the classroom. It's another thing for them to be actually engaged in the educational experience. That's where the process starts. So how do we identify what is going on for that child, that family, what are the contexts, what are the circumstances?
And groups like Choices for Youth that work with many young people who drop out of school say the system needs to identify and address the individual circumstances causing the absenteeism. The Child Advocate agrees and says there needs to be a collective effort from schools, healthcare, and child protection agencies to keep students in the classroom. Anthony?
Carolyn Stokes live in our Here and Now studio. The community of Roddickton Bide Arm has more chlorine in the drinking water, this as a precaution because of the dozens of seals in the community. This is some new video now that we received today from the mayor, Sheila Fitzgerald. She was on the show earlier this week. About 40 or more seals have come ashore in the community, and they came in from the frozen harbor and they just can't find their way back to the sea. The Department of Fisheries and Oceans is in the area trying to move the animals. It says the seals are juveniles and they usually travel in groups. Well, DFO officers put these pictures on Twitter today saying they have seen 11 seals, that's today at least, and officers relocated 4 seals that were near homes in the town. DFO says the 11 seals observed today were in, quote, excellent condition. It also says that people should keep their distance from the seals because they are, after all, wild animals. Well, coming up, we go down the road to Bitters Bar,
where a Mun prof is celebrating his retirement with a generous gesture.
Welcome back to Here Now. Well, there's a big party happening down at Bidder's Pub on Munn's St. John's campus celebrating distinguished Professor Sean Brosnan. He's retiring after 47 years with the Department of Biochemistry, and he must be feeling pretty good about it all because he has decided to donate, get this, he's donating his entire severance. I want to thank you for taking time out of your party to join us, Professor. Your severance is about $180,000 minus taxes, and you're giving this all to your former department. Are you crazy?
Maybe I am, but I don't think I am. I mean, you have to ask yourself how badly do you need the money yourself. I've got a good pension, and I've got a very high regard for Memorial, which I spent 47 years here. So I think it's perfectly in order.
Well, it's a very generous gesture. How is this money going to help the people who receive it? Professor, you're giving them a very generous donation here. How is that going to help the people who get that money?
Well, first of all, I think I wanted to make the donation practical. It could have been for scholarships, or it could have been for lectures. This is a small university, the scale of things, and we're a long way away from all other universities. So I wanted to be able to bring top-notch scholars into St. John's to interact with our students, to give lectures, and in general, that's what I did. So there's about $180,000 after tax, which will be donated to the biochemistry department, and they will select every year 2 or 3 top people to come in and interact with students. And I think that's a very good, healthy use of the money.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of happiness about that. You can hear people clapping back there because I know you've got a big celebration. I hope you can hear me because I want to see if you have any advice. There are dozens of professors retiring now through Memorial University's voluntary retirement program. Do you have any parting advice for the new crop of lecturers who are coming up through the university in 2019? Any advice for the new people coming into Munn? I gather you're having a hard time. Do you have any advice for people who are coming to Memorial University who are going to get that money from you?
Well, I won't have anything to do with this because for taxation reasons, once I give the money away, I can't have anything to do with it. There will be the biochemistry department will determine who's invited in.
Now, I know it's really loud in there. I'll ask you one last question. I think on your ball cap I see a golf green. Do you plan on spending a lot of time on the golf course in retirement?
Well, I think of it as the library.
A library?
And I can't wait for May. This is the library. I can't wait for May to come around.
All right. Well, listen, Professor, I'll let you go. Obviously, you want to do some celebrating. I know it's really loud in there. Thank you for your time and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, bye now. Well, so there you go. Obviously, they're having some fun down at Bidders tonight with all of this going on. And as you know, this is someone who had a very great career in all of this and also a fellow of the Texas Institute for Advanced Studies. So he's heading off to that. He says he's going to keep researching. And Professor Brosnan, is among dozens of Munn profs who've accepted the university's buyout offers. Now, the university says that 69 staff have accepted the deal. That works out to about a year's salary, and 50 of those were senior high-earning faculty members, some of them earning up to $200,000 a year. Now, only half of those are going to be replaced, with faculty earning much less, about $90,000 a year, considerable difference there. Munn also says 19 staff members have retired, and none of those ones are going to be replaced. The university paid out more than $9.5 million in lump sum payments, but the salary savings each year from now on because of these measures is nearly $11 million. And the university says that the buyout program was necessary because of Munn's shrinking budget, and it can't increase revenue on its own because of the government-imposed tuition freeze for students who are from this province. Many of the faculty retired as of December 31st.
It's sad to see some of the senior scholars go who've been such a vital part of the institution, but renewal is an important part of transformation for any self-respecting university. It's an opportunity, we hope, for people fresh with PhDs or who have been doing postdoctorate work to see an opportunity. And those people are going to be coming in fresh, lots of energy, lots of potential.
Lots of news about Memorial University today, yesterday. We want to turn our attention, of course, to the news about the weather. What's on the go?
Well, temperatures this afternoon, we're sitting in the single digits on the plus side of the mercury for parts of the Avalon. So we saw rain, but everywhere else it looked like it was snow this afternoon. Take a look at these temperatures now. We've dropped down to 0 degrees for St. John's, and then we're sitting 0 or below 0 for the rest of the island. And then up through Labrador, take a look at those temperatures well above seasonal for this time of year. -7 in Lab City, -1 in Makkovik, and these temperatures will continue as we head through the weekend. Eventually, we'll see these temperatures dip back down as we get more into a northwesterly flow. So here's a look at the satellite radar. See all that cloud cover up through Labrador. There's snow happening as well. If we zoom in across the island, we can see all that snow along the west coast and then moving its way towards the northern peninsula. That will continue as we head through the night tonight, and then we get into a snow squall setup. So there's that snow moving through the northern peninsula, and then we get into that southwesterly flow with all of that potential for snow squalls along the west coast, the south coast, Burin Peninsula, and parts of the Avalon as well. And that looks like that will continue right through the day on Saturday. More of a mix of sun and cloud for parts of central and along the northeast coast, but if you do see those snow squalls develop, you could pick up quite a bit of snow with those. Otherwise, snow continues generally up through Labrador through the day tomorrow. The heaviest will be from Nain to Makkovik, it looks like, and with some pretty gusty winds as well through the day on Saturday. So here's a look at the wind timeline. This is overnight tonight, gusting between 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. And then along the west coast as well, we're going to see some pretty gusty winds. And then heading through the day tomorrow, those winds are going to pick up even more with gusts near 80 kilometers per hour. So that with that newly fallen snow will lead to blowing snow through the afternoon. And we're generally looking at breezy conditions right into Monday, it looks like, for most of the province. And then that's why we have that blowing snow advisory. So Nain all the way down through to Makkovik. Blowing snow advisory, that's mainly for tomorrow when those winds pick up, and then with that heavy falling snow as well. So here's a look at the forecast for tonight. Sitting in the minus single digits overnight, -5 in Corner Brook. Some southwest winds gusting near 50 kilometers per hour. As I mentioned, those will continue through the day tomorrow. Up through St. Anthony, -3, -2 in Marystown. And again, looking at that potential for snow squalls as we head through the night tonight. Up through Labrador City, dropping down to -13, -7 for Happy Valley Goose Bay, and -9 for Nain. Again, with those windy conditions, looking at blowing snow through most of the night tonight. And then into tomorrow, temperatures are going to drop down to the minus single digits. So not moving much from what we're going to see tonight, except around St. John, should hover around the 0 degree mark. And again, we are looking at that southwesterly flow, so that potential for some snow squalls into the afternoon. And then up through Labrador. Looks like 15 centimeters is a good bet along the coast, but we could pick up to 25 centimeters in some cases. It might be outside of the communities, but still that chance nonetheless. But then again, this weekend, looking at the potential for snow squalls. So all along the coast, making its way through Clarenville, Bonavista, and then the Avalon Peninsula could pick up that potential for some snow squalls. And with these, could see 5 to 10 centimeters, it looks like. So let's look at your forecast for into Saturday. We'll look ahead to Sunday and what's coming up towards next weekend, or next week when I come back.
Just a very quick blessing of the paintings, giving thanks again for that creativity.
And I have to thank St. Mark's for being such a welcoming community, for even letting me do it.
This Sunday, these paintings will be blessed at St. Mark's Church in St. John's.
Gorgeous. Next, we'll talk to the Reverend and the religious studies professor who painted them.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Our next story is about how religion and art have combined to create something beautiful at St. Mark's Anglican Church in St. John's. This Sunday, 4 huge paintings behind the altar will be officially blessed.
This one is one of my favorites because it's the symbol of St. Mark's.
Robert Cook is the minister at St. Mark's. Michelle Rebidoux is a professor of religious studies at Memorial. She's also a painter and the artist behind the 4 panels which soar 13 feet high. Reverend Cook even had to arrange for scaffolding so Michelle could paint the upper reaches. And she finished the last painting just this Christmas. How did this project come about, Michelle?
Well, I know Rob from teaching at Queen's College. We both teach there. And I had come here one Sunday, this was about 2 years ago, for the Queen's College appeal. So it was my first time here. I saw those big bare panels there behind the altar, and I said, oh, they need painting. I just do a sort of amateur painter, do a little bit of painting. And I suggested to him, just half in jest, I didn't think he'd really go for it. I said, would you let me paint those? And he went for it.
So why did you go for it?
Well, one of the things we try to do here at St. Mark's, and aside from, you know, bare panels and needing some paint, we try to encourage creativity and, you know, use people's gifts to give back to the church and give back to the community. But also, the church has traditionally been the center of the arts, paintings, music, and so over the years we've lost that, and so we're trying to recover it here. So anytime we get someone to, you know, do paintings and music and anything creative, St. Mark's is all for that.
Tell us about the paintings, Michelle. Who is portrayed here?
Well, originally I had wanted to paint all 6 of the panels, and Rob suggested that we just do 4 of them and leave the middle ones blank. As soon as I thought, well, 4, let's do the 4 evangelists. So they represent the 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and these are the traditional symbols. Matthew is the perfect man, or the angelic man. Mark is the lion, Luke is the ox, and John is the eagle. The evangelists first started being associated with these symbols way back in the 2nd century, and they started appearing in artworks in the 5th century. And it has to do with a lot of factors, such as the quality that Christ displays in each gospel, and how that quality matches with the quality of the symbol, and how, you know, how each gospel begins, and the virtues that are associated with each symbol, etc.
What you have done, I understand, deliberately is to coordinate the colors with the beautiful stained glass that you have in this church, Reverend Cook. And you also see something else in these panels, don't you?
I tend to see something different every time I look at them, but I know I still see some of the scenery from Newfoundland, like the Terra Nova area, the Torngat Mountains, some areas along the southern shore where you have the rolling green hills, and I also see the 4 seasons of spring, summer, fall, and winter. So there's a lot of different layers to the painting.
What's been the reaction from the congregation as they've seen these come to life?
I've got a lot of really nice comments and supportive comments, and people have been really happy with what I've been doing. And I was so, because I thought, you know, I've always wanted to paint something really huge, and this was a fantastic opportunity to do so. But it is a public space, and it's a very religiously significant public space for many people. And so it was, for me, I felt, oh, geez, how can I do something like that? But thank goodness people have really liked it.
As each, you know, painting has kind of unfolded, the sense of anticipation and excitement and curiosity too has grown of what the finished product is going to look like.
I guess there was a guessing game on the go at times when just the feet of the eagle appeared. Was it a chicken?
People thought it was going to be a chicken.
So on Sunday you will have the blessing of these paintings. What can parishioners expect?
Well, Michelle will be doing the homily as well, and going into some of the symbolism a bit behind the paintings, and maybe some of the stories behind the paintings too. And just a very quick blessing of the paintings, giving thanks again for that creativity, but also giving thanks for the artists as well.
And I have to thank St. Mark's for being such a welcoming community, for even letting me do it.
And like any good church service, there's a cup of tea afterwards. So.
Reverend Robert Cook and Michelle Rebadou, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's some breaking news right now in the nation's capital. Police are responding to a serious bus collision that happened in Ottawa at this hour, and apparently several people were injured in the crash. Happened around 3:50 p.m. local time. It's just over about an hour and a half ago. The photos from the scene show first responders aiding injured people on the pavement in front of a double-decker bus. The vehicle's front had been shorn right off, and it appears to have struck a bus shelter. The bus is part of Ottawa's public transit system. It's a mother-daughter battle in curling here at Ballyhaley, and one of them is going to need a tissue at the Scotties. Tears of joy and tears of defeat coming up. Welcome back to Here and Now. On Sunday, the provincial ladies curling champions going to be crowned here at Ballyhaley. Among the competitors, a mother-daughter battle. Not so much of a battle there. Okay, that's more of a battle. So Wendy, we're taught that we're supposed to let our kids win. Why don't you let her win?
Well, she wouldn't learn anything if I let her win. So what's the point of that? For her to be better, I got to beat her.
All right, so what do you think of that?
It's a fair point, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Have you beaten your mother before?
We're back and forth usually.
Yeah.
It's pretty even playing field. Yeah.
So did you actually get your daughter involved in curling?
I did, yeah. Right. Camille played soccer and basketball and had to give that up for a number of reasons and was looking for a sport, so I suggested curling. And she wasn't sure at first, but once we got her down on the ice, she was an absolute natural, and the rest just followed suit. She got picked up on a team immediately and started to play.
Now, Camille, I saw you warming up a little while ago. Looked more like a dance competition than a curling competition. Yeah. What do you like about the sport?
You know, we're a really close-knit family, I find. Like, even with just a small team, 4 of us, we're all best friends on and off the ice, and everybody within the community is just super supportive, and that's what I love most about it, for sure.
Okay, now that's all peachy keen and all that, but at the end of it, this is actually a competition. You're up against your mom. What's it like competing against mom?
In a sense, it's nice, but, you know, she's a competition out there. I can't say anything too nice. She's a good curler, but she better bring it.
Which one of you is more competitive?
Oh, I don't think that we could actually call that one. Both of us are fierce competitors. Neither one of us likes to lose. And when we do lose, it's all reflection in what to do better next time. And we are both very guilty of that.
Right, and then all of a sudden she's not allowed to use the car. She has to clean up the garage.
She has to walk. She'll be walking home in the rain this evening if she wins.
So let me ask you this, Camille. Is it more satisfying to beat your mother's team than other teams?
100%.
Excuse me? Okay, she's not getting fed for a week.
But when you're actually down there, I guess you get into the curling zone, right? Does it actually matter that it's your mom? Or you just sort of think it's one team, or is it different in any way?
It's just one team. I mean, I'll cheer for her good shots all the time. She makes some.
Every now and again.
Yeah. But no, when it boils down to it, it's competition. You're on the ice to play, and that's it.
Right. So in those instances where you've actually beaten your daughter, Camille, have you ever had a sense of like maternal guilt of any kind?
Absolutely none. Nope. None.
You want to think about it?
Not at all. Nope. I have no remorse, no regret, and if it happens again today, which I would really like that to happen, I will have no remorse then either. But if I lose, I will never be happier than to lose to Camille.
Aww.
That was really sweet.
Isn't that nice? Well, listen, we have no idea what's going to happen come this Sunday. It'd be fantastic if it were Mom and Dad.
I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine.
Pretty good, yeah.
What's Sunday dinner like if that happens?
Oh, I think it'd be at the keg.
Either way. Yeah, I mean, if she's going to win and pay for the keg, I'll gladly attend.
Fair.
All right, well, listen, good luck to you both. Have a great weekend, and appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Now, as it turned out, Debbie,
who won?
Mom did win convincingly. Wendy defeated Camille's rink 9-3, I think was the final score. But still a lot of action. There's a game. Yeah, there's a match starts right after here and now tonight at Ballyhaley. There's all weekend, Saturday, and then on Sunday.
You've got the championship that's at Ballyhaley.
Yeah.
So some good competition, obviously, is in store for anybody who wants to drop by. Well, there have been nasty windstorms on Canada's east coast this winter, but one earlier this week in Rustico and PEI was so strong it blew a huge gas station canopy right off its footings.
Just basically, like I said, just stunned, and it is what it is. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Nobody was hurt in the mishap, and the gas pumps themselves are still working fine. For now, owner Kevin Gallant is getting a crane on site to move the canopy out of the way. Engineers and insurance adjusters are being brought in to figure out how to put things right side up.
A Saudi teenager who took to social media to plead for safe asylum is now en route to Canada. The Prime Minister confirmed that Canada has agreed to welcome Rahaf Mohammed Al Qunun.
The UNHCR has made a request of Canada that we accept Ms. Al Qunun as a refugee, and we have accepted.
The UNHCR, or United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, granted refugee status to the 18-year-old 2 days ago. She had traveled on her own to Bangkok last Saturday, claiming abuse by her family, and she said that she hoped to reach Australia, but Thai officials seized her passport. So she holed herself up in a hotel and began sending out online pleas for help. Thai authorities now say that she's already flown out of the country and is en route to Canada. Justin Trudeau says Canada is pleased to stand up for human rights and women's rights.
Beautiful night out there. Looks a little bit like we're going to see the potential for some snow squalls through the overnight. That'll continue through most of the weekend. Then looking ahead, maybe another warm-up. I'll have all those details coming up.
I think Professor Brosnan's leaving his party. I can see him there through the pedway. He said he wanted an early night.
almost 4 years ago, I became a quadruple amputee.
I had a stroke.
People who have overcome some major life challenges.
When I came to, my arm was pretty well dismembered.
I have bad days and good days. It kind of depends on the day.
We're checking back in to see where they are today.
This is my story.
This is my story.
This is my story.
A new series on CBC NL starting January 16th.
And this is my story.
This weather update is brought to you by Beltone, helping the world hear better.
Welcome back, everyone, and Anthony's in a really good mood.
I am. The weekend's here.
I'm also in a good mood.
Yeah, well, we want to get through the long-term forecast or long-range forecast for the weekend
right, yeah.
before we're happy.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. If you like snow, we could see some snow squalls tomorrow.
Okay.
And then even into next week, or into the rest of the weekend. So if you take a look at the future tracker, you can see those snow squalls along the west coast, and then even parts of Burin and the Avalon Peninsula, and that will continue through the day on Sunday. Things generally look like they're going to clear out for the most part, though, for the Avalon, and then even parts of Central will likely see a mix of sun and cloud, and then just the slight chance of a few flurries through the day, and then again that potential for a few snow squalls along the west coast. Otherwise, Labrador looks like it'll clear out quite nicely through the day, and then another little round of snow will move in towards the early morning hours on Monday. So here's a look at your forecast. Those temperatures staying quite steady through the weekend in the minus single digits, -5 for Corner Brook, -3 for Grand Falls, Windsor. A little bit more in the way of a mix of sun and cloud for the Burin Peninsula. Can't rule out the chance of a few flurries, though, and that's the same for Central as well. Up through the Northern Peninsula and the Straits, looking at that chance of flurries, and then windy conditions continuing along the coastal Labrador. So from Cartwright all the way through up to Nain, we're looking at winds gusting between 50 to 70 kilometers per hour. So blowing snow will be the story. And then we start to see those temperatures drop. So -12 for Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and Lab City looks like sunshine, but dipping down to the around -18 through the afternoon on Sunday. And those temperatures will continue to dip as we head into next week. So Sunday overnight, again, things clearing out for the most part. Monday looks quite calm as well. Can't rule out the chance of a few flurries along the west coast and the south coast, but other than that, not a whole lot happening. It's Tuesday when things start to get a little bit messy again with this system. So it's looking more and more like we'll see snow to start for the Avalon, eastern Newfoundland, and then as that system moves, depending on how far east it or how far west it tracks, rather, we could see some rain for the Avalon Peninsula and for the Avalon, as well as the eastern portion of the island. And then into Wednesday, things clear out, and then another system moving in Wednesday evening. That one looks like it'll be all snow, though, as those temperatures stay well below zero. So here's a look at the forecast over the next 5 days. Potential for some squalls tomorrow for eastern Newfoundland, St. John's, and then clearing out on Saturday or on Sunday and Monday, and then that temperature hovering up above zero. So we could see some rain on Tuesday, as I just mentioned. Now, for central Newfoundland, things look nice on Monday, -5, and then dipping again overnight Tuesday and Wednesday with that potential for some flurries returning. The weekend not looking too bad for, or rather next week not looking too bad for western Newfoundland, just Monday -4 and sunshine, and then up through Labrador, we're looking at temperatures slowly back down to the normal, around -15 for Monday and Tuesday, and then western Labrador even colder, dipping down to close to the -30s by the time midweek next week rolls around. So it's that time of the night again. I'll just show you a beautiful weather photo.
Wow.
Gorgeous.
That's a work of art.
It sure is. That sunrise or sunset there.
Composition's amazing.
Any idea where that photo's taken?
West Coast?
Maybe Labrador.
Yes.
Yeah, because the trees are small.
yeah.
Wow, that's a dandy.
It's a gorgeous shot. Well, there's more snow on the way for this area. I'll tell you. I'll tell you where it is when I come back.
Well, it's Friday.
And you know what that means.
And you do, of course. It means let's find out who's celebrating birthdays and anniversaries. Happy golden anniversary to Dorothy and Harold Butler of Botwood. They celebrated on Tuesday. Happy anniversary to Maud and Charles Kendall of Stephenville on their 53rd wedding anniversary on the 5th. Happy 63rd anniversary to Grogan and Grace McKay of Seal Cove, White Bay. They celebrated on the 5th. Happy 51st wedding anniversary to Ed and Pat Noseworthy of St. John's, who celebrated on Sunday. 50th anniversary wishes to Cease and Doris Huckster of Southbrook.
A happy 50th golden wedding anniversary as well to Mike and Melita Wilcott. Their special day was January 2nd. And a happy 92nd birthday to Josephine White in St. Brendan's. That was a week ago on the 4th. And happy birthday to Sadie Hamilton, who'll be celebrating her 95th birthday tomorrow, and that's her great-granddaughter, also Sadie Hamilton, visiting from Calgary. And a happy 96th birthday to Lurley Brown in Kilbride, who celebrated on Monday. Happy 93rd birthday to George Elliott from Mainbrook. His big day is tomorrow.
Best wishes to Ruth Burton of Twillingate, who will celebrate her 92nd birthday on Sunday. Happy birthday to Maud Strobridge of Cornerbrook, celebrating her 90th on Monday. Congratulations to Hubert and Gertrude Ralph of Jackson's Arm, White Bay, who are celebrating their 53rd wedding anniversary today. Happy 66th anniversary to Lena and Melvin Grandy of Garnish. 65th wedding anniversary wishes going out to Marjorie and Gordon Hiscock, previously of Clarenville and now in the St. John's area. They celebrated on the 5th.
And a belated best wishes to Dennis and Pauline Hatch from Brownsdale on their 61st anniversary. That was on New Year's Day. And a happy 97th birthday tomorrow to Sarah Ann Warford in Pollard's Point. Happy 90th birthday to Amy Penny in Happy Adventure, who celebrated this Tuesday. And best wishes to Rose Casey in Conch, who will celebrate her 92nd birthday tomorrow. Rose is from Conch, but is now in Lansalou with her son. And a happy 59th wedding anniversary to Joe and Lorena Hodder in Marystown, who will also celebrate tomorrow. And happy 54th anniversary to John and Sylvia Potter in Lewisport, whose special day was on Wednesday.
And of course, congratulations, a fine-looking crowd celebrating.
Very well done.
Yeah.
Want to look at the photo?
I do.
Another beautiful photo there.
This is really lovely.
Just sit and stare at that for a little while. I would love to be. I miss that, actually.
Yes, you would have had a lot of that.
A lot of that. Yeah, with a snowmobile just hanging around, watching the sunset. Yeah, it was actually just outside of Rigolette.
Rigolette.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Gorgeous.
In a place
You
called...
see a lot of wood in the sled there, though. I guess they must have been so breathtaking that Melvina decided, okay, I'm not going to collect wood. I'm just going to actually look at the sun.
In the monitors we're looking at, I can't really tell, but is that somebody in the distance?
I think so.
I think it's a pylon, seems a pothole or something.
Yeah, in Goosebrook? Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway, thank you, Melvina or Melvina. That's a lovely shot. Keep them coming.
That's right. We'd love to see them. Send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca, and we will try and get them on the show.
And it reminds me of, looking at the trees there, for those in the St. John's area, if you've got a real Christmas tree still at home, you can recycle it and you can bring it down to Kitty Vitty Lake. I think Kitty Vitty is Saturday.
Right.
And then the dump, Robin Hood Bay, is Sunday, or the reverse. Check it out.
Right.
This weekend you can get rid of your tree.
She still needs to get rid of hers, that's why.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend.